Good morning, students. Welcome to lecture 2 of the module 3 operational amplifiers. So, today let us see the different types of gain which we come across in an ideal op amp. So, if you see in the ideal op amp, we will be having two input terminals, that is the inverting terminal, which is the indicated by minus, and the non-inverting terminal, which is indicated by the sign plus. So, and we have one output voltage, that is V out. This output voltage is directly proportional to the difference between the voltage V1 and V2. So, output voltage is directly proportional to V1 minus V2. Clear? So if I take the differential gain or the difference gain, which is indicated by a term A D, D standing for differential, A standing for gain, your output voltage will be equal to AD, the differential gain, into V1 minus V2. Now, if I take V1 minus V2 as VD, which is the difference in voltage or the difference voltage, your output equation will look like output equation V naught will be equal to AD, that is the differential gain, and VD, that is the difference in voltage. So if I have to find an expression for AD, that is the differential gain, it is nothing but output V naught divided by the differential voltage. So any gain, we already seen in the previous video that gain is output by input, right? So your differential gain is output by difference in the voltages. Now, if you want the differential gain in terms of decibels or dB, you can calculate it by AD is equal to 20 log to base 10 into AD. Clear? Now, similarly, you will come across something called common mode gain, that is AC. C stands for common mode and A stands for gain. Now, in this particular condition, what happens is we are going to give both V1 and V2 being the same. For example, V1 is equal to V2. In this particular case, if you substitute it in the previous equation, what happens is both your V1 and V2 is same. Therefore, this particular term is going to become 0. So 0 into anything, your output voltage will become 0. So therefore, in this particular condition, we will take a common mode voltage by averaging both the inputs. That is, I will add V1 plus V2 divided by 2. So let us assume that both V1 and V2 are 5 volts. So 5 plus 5 divided by 2, your VC will be 5 volts. So what happens to the output at this particular condition? Your output will be AC into VC. So your final total output voltage is going to be given by V out equal to AD into VD plus AC into VC. Okay. So moving forward, so these are the explanations to all the abbreviations which we saw previously. So here, let's read through the points. An ideal op amp is basically an amplifier which amplifies the difference between the two input signals. Therefore, it is called difference amplifier or differential amplifier, where V1 and V2 are inputs and V0 is the single-ended output. The second point, in a differential amplifier, the output voltage V0 is directly proportional to the difference between the two inputs. We had seen this expression, that is V out is directly proportional to the V1 minus V2. Now, what is differential gain? Differential gain, it is the gain with which the amplifier amplifies the difference between the two inputs. Clear? Moving ahead, what is common mode gain? It is if two input voltages are equal in all respects and is applied to the differential amplifier, practically the amplifier will not depend on the difference voltage but also on the average common level of two inputs, which is denoted by Vc. So Vc is equal to V1 plus V2 by 2. So practically the amplifier produces output proportional to such common mode signals also. So the gain with which it amplifies the common mode signal to produce the output is known as common mode gain. Clear? So this is your common mode signal, that is Vc, which is V1 plus V2. So the output voltage will be common mode gain into common mode signals. Therefore, the total output of any given amplifier is going to be V out, which is equal to AD, differential gain, into difference in voltage, plus AC, that is common mode gain, into common mode voltage. Now moving ahead, when you are looking into doing any derivations with respect to this particular chapter, there are two things which I want you to clearly understand. That is, the input current of the op amp is zero. Clear? So zero input current, because there is going to be certain parameters which you're going to see, that is, in the operational amplifier, your input impedance or your input resistance is infinity, and you know that if resistance is infinity, your current will be zero. If any particular path, if we take the resistance to be infinity, the current will be zero, right? So remember that if there are two paths, if there are two paths for the current will always flow in a lower resistant path. Clear? So let us just see this particular thing. I have given input to the inverting terminal, that is the minus sign, and the non-inverting terminal I have grounded. And your Rn equal to infinity is here. That is the input resistance of the op amp is infinity. Clear? So when you apply V in here, there will be a current flowing in this particular branch through the resistance R. This particular current cannot enter the op amp here because the input resistance is infinity, right? So what happens? The current will choose the lower resistance path, that is RF. RF is having a lesser resistance when compared to Rin, which is infinity. So this particular current, which cannot enter here, will flow in the feedback path. Will flow in the feedback path. Clear? And there's one more particular term which I want you to be very clear of, that is virtual ground or virtual short. Say this particular thing. Due to this principle, the voltage at point A of the inverting terminal appears to be same as the voltage at point B of the non-inverting terminal. Now, what is the meaning of it is, let us see this particular circuit 1 where I have connected the non-inverting terminal to ground. That means that this particular node B, the voltage at this particular node B, that is VB, will be equal to 0. Because of the virtual ground concept, whatever is the voltage that is appearing at the non-inverting terminal, that is this point B, will be the same at the point A because of this virtual ground or virtual short concept. Please get this clear. That is, you're going to first check what is the voltage at the non-inverting terminal here, and because of the virtual ground or virtual short, the same voltage will appear across this point A of the inverting terminal. So if you see here, node B is connected to ground, so VB will be equivalent to 0. By virtual ground concept, VB will be equivalent to VA, which is equivalent to 0. Clear? Now we'll take another example of circuit 2 where I have given input to the non-inverting terminal and the inverting terminal is connected to ground, and you can see the directions of current has changed, right? And if you see here, node B is connected to V in, so the voltage at point B, VB, will be equivalent to V in. So by virtual ground concept, VB is equal to VA, which is equal to V in. Clear? So a quick summary of this particular points. So the first point is input current is 0. That is, the current cannot enter the op-amp at the input. So the input current is 0 because your Rn, that is your input resistance, is infinity. Clear? And the current will always choose a lower resistant path. And virtual ground or virtual short concept says that first you're going to check what is the voltage at the non-inverting terminal at point B. Because of the virtual ground concept, the same voltage appears across point A of the inverting terminal. So if you see here, node B is connected to ground, so VB is equal to 0, and because of virtual ground, the same voltage appears across point A, so VB will be equivalent to VA, which is equal to 0. This particular thing you will be seeing it in every derivation where we'll be using by virtual ground concept and writing the expressions. Moving ahead. So here we will see in the corresponding factors, and here we will see 10 parameters of the IC MUI 741 op-amp, where you will be listing the parameters, their symbols, ideal values, and the practical or typical values. So the first parameter is open loop voltage gain. So open loop means the particular, in this kind of circuits, there is no feedback that is present in the circuit. Now what is feedback? Feedback meaning there is no output, there is no part of output that is being fed back to the input. So this kind of circuits are called open loop circuits. Now the open loop gain of the op-amp ideally is infinity, and the practical value is 2 into 10 to the power 5, which is a very high value. Clear? And the input impedance or the input resistance, which is denoted by R in, is infinity, and practically it is 2 mega ohm. Now you know that because of this particular parameter where your input impedance or your input resistance is infinity, my input current of the op amp is 0. So when your resistance is infinity, your current will be 0. And next, if you see the next parameter, that is the output impedance, P out, the R naught, ideal value is 0, practical value is 75 ohm. And the next parameter, that is input offset current. So your input offset current is denoted by IOS. This small letters IOS stands for input offset. So input offset current, ideal value is 0, practical value is 20 nano ampere. And input offset voltage, that is denoted by VIOS, is ideally 0 and practically 2 millivolt. The next parameter, bandwidth, that is denoted by BW, ideal value is infinity, practical value is 1 megahertz. And the next parameter is common mode rejection ratio, which is denoted by eta. Ideal value is infinity, practical value is 90 decibels. The next one is slew rate, which is denoted by S. Ideal value is infinity, practical value is 0.5 volt per microsecond. And the next one, that is input bias current, it is denoted by IB. Ideal value is 0, practical value can range between 80 nanoamperes to 500 nanoamperes. And the power supply rejection ratio, ideal value is 0 and the practical value is, please note there is an error in this particular thing, the unit is 30 micro volt per volt. Clear? It is 30 micro volt per volt. So it is 30 micro volt per volt itself. And here it can range up to 150 micro volt per volt. Moving ahead, now let us see the definitions of all of them. So the first one, first three parameters, there is no definitions. Open loop gain, it is just the standard thing that it is going to be too high. That is ideally infinity, practically 2 into 10 to the power 5. And this is your input resistance. Ideally it is infinity, practically it is 2 mega ohm. And output impedance or output resistance R naught ideally is 0 and practically 75 ohms. Now let us see the remaining parameters, their definitions. So the input offset voltage, meaning the practical op amp shows a non-zero output voltage when both input terminals of the op amp are grounded. To make sure this output is 0, a small voltage in millivolts is applied to one of the input terminals that makes the output voltage 0. This small voltage is called input offset voltage. It is denoted by VIOS. Ideal value is 0 and practical value is 2 millivolt. Now let us try to understand this concept with a diagram. So if you see here, the concept meaning that if to an operational amplifier, when I give both my V1 and V2, that is my inverting voltage and the non-inverting voltage as 0, that is I have given it to ground. If my inputs are 0, my output should be 0. But even at this particular condition, my output will be some value which is a non-zero value. Clear? So to make this particular output voltage 0, I will apply a small voltage either to the inverting terminal or to the non-inverting terminal of an order millivolt. Millivolt meaning into 10 to the power minus 3. So when you apply a small voltage either to the inverting or to the non-inverting to make the output voltage 0, that particular voltage is known as input offset voltage. That particular small voltage is called the input offset voltage to make the output voltage 0. Moving ahead, the input offset current, the input offset current, the difference in the magnitude of IB1 and IB2 is called the input offset current. It is the modulus of difference between IB1 and IB2. Now, what is this IB1 and IB2? Now, within an operational amplifier, there will be two transistors which are facing each other. So, IB1 is the current in the transistor 1, that is current in the base of the transistor 1, where IB2 is the current in the base of the transistor 2. So input offset current is the difference in the two base currents of the two different transistors. Ideally it is 0, practically it is 20 nanoampere. Moving ahead, bandwidth. Bandwidth means the range of frequencies over which the amplifier performance is satisfactory. So ideally the value is infinity and practically it is 1 megahertz. So if I say my operational amplifier is working between the range 90 megahertz and 91 megahertz. So 91 minus 90 megahertz, the bandwidth is 1 megahertz. The common mode rejection ratio, which is denoted by CMRR, is nothing but the ability of the differential amplifier to reject the common mode signals. The ability of the differential amplifier to reject the common mode signals. Ideally, the value is infinity. Practically, it is 90 decibels. Now, there is the formula for this particular thing, that is differential gain by common mode gain, the modulus of differential gain by common mode gain. If you have to calculate CMRR in dB, it is 20 log of this particular term, that is AD by AC. Input biased current, it is the current flowing into each of the input terminals when they are biased at the same voltage levels. That is, if you give same voltages to both the inputs, the resulting current is known as input bias current. So it is given by modulus of IB1 plus modulus of IB2 divided by 2 here. So ideally the value is 0, practically it is 80 nano ampere. So let us conclude today's session here, and further in the next class we will see the derivations or the different applications of the op amp. Thank you.